Hello, good time zone, everybody, and welcome to Horde of Tales. My name is Marcus, also known as the Chindividual, and as almost every Tuesday, I am here to run some of the dungeons, to run some of the dragons, and to roll some of the dice. And I am not alone in that endeavor. I am once again accompanied by four fantastic individuals who join me on this adventure, and I want to give each of them a chance to quickly introduce themselves. Just before I hand it over, I am Marcus, as mentioned. I'm a pale Caucasian male with a beard and dark hair. Today, wearing a dark red, Bordeaux red button-up shirt and glasses. And I am handing it over around the table to Serial.
Hi, everybody. I'm Serial, pronounced they, them. I am a Caucasian person with black short-ish hair and a white streak on the front. I'm wearing a yellow t-shirt today, and I play Rebus, who is a warforged barbarian. They use any pronouns, but usually they, them. They're made of wood and metal and kind of like a bit of patchwork, construction. They have a shattered faceplate, and they sound like this.
Perfect. Great to have you with us, Serial. Ida.
Hello, my name is Aida. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a Latina woman with tan skin, dark eyes, dark hair, and I am wearing a purple-colored wrap top. Should wrap properly better. I am playing Rayn. Pronouns she and her. She is a Triton sorceress. As a Triton, she's a kind of a merfolk person with aqua blue-green skin, finned ears, saffron outfit, ankle-high boots with wings on the ankles, and she has a mop of seaweed black curly hair.
Awesome. Glad to have you back here. Austin.
Hello, that's me. I'm Austin, pronouns he, they. Caucasian person wearing a pink button-up and a V-neck, and recently actually cut hair that is like long on the top. And I play Dythun, who is a Leonin fighter, multi-class, maybe cleric. Pronouns he, him. Brown and black fur, shiny armor, and way too many weapons.
I thought bard.
Yeah, he's a barbarian.
Barbarian. The mystery grows deeper.
And
Thank you for that.
Tabaxi lacking a haircut, clearly.
Obviously.
Thanks for being back here at the table, Austin. And last but certainly not least, the fourth member in this group, Caro.
Yeah, hey, I'm Caro, pronounced she, they. I'm a Caucasian femme with long turquoise hair that is, again, in need of dyeing. So, yeah. To everyone's surprise, I'm not wearing black today. I have a bright pink blouse.
We've gone the Barbie route, as opposed to the usual Oppenheimer.
Yes.
No, I basically just choose this because like last week it was like, so yeah, I somehow always or most of the times choose black. So it is like, yeah, okay, what is the brightest color that I have in my closet? This. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, and I'm going to play Delphine today, pronounced she, they as well. Half with tanned skin, rather long, wavy, light bluish hair, a scar over her face. What did I miss? Tricon hat on her head, and wait for it. Generally rocking that pirate style.
Yes!
There it is.
Yes! There it is.
We need to make that into a t-shirt.
I dapped for it.
We really do.
Glad to have all of you here at the table again. And I'm glad to see all of you in such high spirits here today, because last session brought your characters into, well,
Pain and suffering.
a situation. And we're going to continue that situation today. How's everyone feeling before we continue with a fight against an oozy figure, some laughing, screaming, crying creatures in a kind of temple which locks away something from a different plane.
I like how you say this all in like this underwhelming manner, as if there's like it's nothing. It's all normal, nothing wild here.
The usual.
Just, yeah, the
Just another
usual.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, simple.
Just a few kind of aberration, mind-eating, chaos-like creatures, casually.
We don't know if they're mind eating. Be careful what you suggest because Marcus will be taking notes.
I like mind-eating creatures, so that is on me.
Well, let's speak for one of us here.
Yeah, because as a DM, the joy I derive when I introduce the interact developer, no matter at what level, the PCs will freak out, and I'm just like, yes, you're just one saving throw away from doom.
How's everyone's intelligence saving throws?
Wonderful.
As long as we
Great.
hug the
Why are you
paladin.
asking?
You shouldn't even worry about it.
Good. I will
We are
not then.
so intelligent.
Super intelligent.
Hey Marcus, solve for the hypotenuse.
It's Tuesday. We're at Horde of
Goes both
Tales.
ways.
And on Tuesdays, we play Dungeons and Dragons and get confronted with a lack of mathematic skills. When you're
I just know the word. I know that one word.
when you're watching your Tuesdays, we're probably playing the Convergence Manifesto, which is a 5e D&D campaign set in the world of Eberron and created by the Across Eberron project. Convergence Manifesto can all be found on the DM's Guild. And you can also buy all of these adventures, 13 in total, for a nice bundle, and travel across Corvair and seek planar items. What these characters are doing. We are currently in Chapter 8 of those series, March of Madness, and we play on Foundry Virtual Tabletop. That's where you see the battle maps and all the stuff. If you see the battle maps, they were probably made in Dungeon Draft, created by Megasplood. And if you hear music, it's probably by Dark Fantasy Studios or Joan Studler. Last but not least, on this channel, we love cats. We do. There's even a secret additional edition of cats on this channel. You might see the beauty, you might not. But if you see a cat on someone's screen, you can use your channel points and give someone cat vantage. If you do so, there's a cute little kitty cat appearing on the overlay for that person. For example, Serial now has a cute little kitty cat right next to their name on the overlay. While they have the cute kitty cat, they can use it, spend it, and get advantage on a roll. Once that's spent, the cute little kitty cat leaves again, but sure will come back sooner or later. Keep in mind, if you spend channel points for cat vantage, don't forget to mention who gets it. Also, don't give cat vantage to someone who already has cat vantage. If you do, the GM will get it, and if the GM already has cat vantage, well, let's make this situation not more dire than it has to be. With all of that being said, let's quickly go over to the movies before we continue today's session. See you in a little bit. And there we are again for today's session. As the music you're hearing can tell you, the party is in quite the situation.
We're in
After
danger.
having entered this temple fortress, place of safekeeping, the party soon found that more damage had been done to it. Someone carelessly must have broken through here and probably damaged some of the seals that keep whatever madness is at bay here locked away. While Vola was studying the seals, Rayn tried to inspect a chest, which caused an explosion, which caught part of the party, well, I actually think everyone in the party, in the blast, weakening our party members. However, Vola made it clear there was no time to rest. The seals, the charges, and the shards that power them have to be reignited. And after extracting some knowledge from a spell shard, Rayn had some more ideas of what was going on here. Following Vola, they went deeper into the complex, coming to a place where they should find a set of keys to deal with the broken shards and re-engage them. However, 2 of the 4 keys were gone and stuck in the slimy, oozing form of an Aclio dangling from the ceiling. The party started a fight with that creature and shouting, gibbering, little flesh-stitched beings that were putting up a fight. We ended last session at the end of round 2 of this fight. And we are starting this session at the start of round 3 with Rebus at the top of initiative and Daithun on deck.
Right. I think I had my bite
Yes, you had
as
your
my
bite.
form of the beast. So there's 2 creatures next to me right now, according to the
Exactly.
map. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I will do what barbarians do.
Time to be a bit more convincing than words. And I will take my swords and let's see how many attacks hit. 'Cause,
Let's. Are you attacking the Aclio, the gooey creature next to you, or the little Gru to the south of you?
First I'll attack the one to my left and then the one to the south. Yes.
All right.
So first the alien-like thing. I will do this attack reckless, so I get advantage.
Perfect.
That's a 23 to hit.
That
My
certainly hits.
sword. Okay, 14 points of slashing damage. to the
14
creature.
points. You do still notice that this oozy form seems to be more resilient to your types of weapons. You do still deal damage, but not as much as you would have hoped for.
I have another attack.
You do.
Let me check one thing really quickly. So okay, yeah. I'll use my next attack again on it. See if I can
Mhm.
finish it.
All right.
Oh, really bad. That was 9 points. I
9 to hit?
don't think that hits.
No, that does not hit.
Well, I will use my bonus action to do yet another attack because I can.
With your bite?
Also really bad. No, with my sword.
All right, yes.
That's 13 to hit. Rolling really
Unfortunately,
bad.
that also...
The first one only hit because I had advantage, so...
Anything else on your turn?
I believe that is everything I can do for now. Not my
Alright.
best, but what can you do?
You did.
They're slippery.
You did. That leads us to Daithun.
There's a cat
With Rayn
sitting here
on deck.
staring at me. I'm doing my best to get it on camera, but it won't come over here. So, Daithun is not going to think very hard about this situation. He is going to use the chains
Mm-hmm.
And attack the creature to the right over here down the hallway.
Oh, yes.
Wonderful. Dice? Where do dice work? They don't work very well. 14.
It is enough to hit.
Okay, they work well enough. Good. A D4.
Uh-huh.
And I forgot for the chains, you add something. I don't have to like do a secondary thing, right?
No.
Okay. That is the 6 for the damage.
All right. Chains burning away the flesh of this creature, which just cackles out, but is still standing.
So these is it just the slimy creature, or does it seem to affect these the same way as well?
It affects these the same way.
Okay, perfect. That's a natural 20.
Ooh, let's go.
Yay. Let's so I guess it's been so long since I've rolled a critical. Do I roll in double the damage here?
You double the damage
Okay.
dice.
Okay.
So
Okay. That's a 3, so that's a 6 plus 3 is 9.
9 points going into that aberration as you feel as if Mortal is helping with his own ghostly hands to guide the strike in with your chains.
Perfect. I believe that's all that I got.
That is what the Daithun got. Let's see what the Rayn got.
Just to remind myself, I was pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, I was pretty sure the reckless attack applies to all attacks on one turn. You just decide at the turn whether it's reckless or not.
Let's us quickly double check that. Starting at second level, you can throw aside all concern. When you make your first attack on your turn, you can decide to attack recklessly. Doing so gives you advantage on melee weapon attack rolls during this turn. But attack rolls against you have advantage until your next turn. So, yeah, indeed. When you do recklessly attack, you do it on all of the attacks in that turn.
Yeah, I thought since it said you need to decide on the first attack, I don't know why I thought,
You only get
that
to
only
attack
applied
it.
to the first attack.
It's a good one to keep in mind going forward. So,
Yep.
yeah.
We need all the help we can get. And to that degree, Rayn is going to look down at the Akliu, which is frozen into place thanks to her previous
Right.
frosty treatment. And she's going to continue the cold weather. And she's going to do a frostbite from her surface. Hello, cat. We haven't seen this one in a long time. Milo. No, not Milo. Excuse me. Milo? Hello.
Milo.
Hello, Milo.
You're so cute.
Frostbite, I'm getting distracted. Can the Akliu make a constitution saving throw, please? Oh, cat!
There's
I'm-
cat advantage is the thing.
I'm going to use the Constitution saving throw, right? I'm going to use my cat die for that. And the cat die rolls a grand total of 5.
Excellent.
Cat
for
is
me.
in our favor.
Yay! And I am going to roll, some dice. That is 7 cold damage.
Okay.
No, excuse me, one more die. 8 cold damage. But the Akliu now has disadvantage on the next weapon attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
So it is still frozen to the ground and now had another bit of ice flung in its oozy face.
Like I'm
and
sort
is
of
having
aiming towards, like I saw it claw with its extremity, so I'm like aiming my ice there. So it's going to be harder for it to hit whoever it wants to hit next, assuming that its self is a weapon attack.
Perfect. All right.
And the
Anything else on your turn?
bonus action? No, that's not very useful. There were more baddies, you said. I don't see them now.
Yeah, but what we noticed at the end of last session, there was some
Sounds.
oozy slime coming from between the tiles in the ceiling.
And that's not been resolved yet. I don't see where they've
No,
landed.
you don't see anything. Just a few drops fell on the floor, but you don't see any other danger coming through the ceiling.
Oh, fuck. I did see this stupid thing had reach. And...
Mm-hmm. but it now also has disadvantage on its next weapon attack.
Bonus action, because that was a cantrip.
It was.
Misty Step. Woo!
Woof, just Misty stepping over there. Perfect. Up into the corner, far away out from danger.
Or right
Misty Step
underneath the
sound
dripping
effects.
oil. Goo. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
What a pretty cat. That's
Anything
my
else on your turn?
turn.
That is your turn. Oops, whoops, 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 whoops. I was clicking too fast. Thanks, by the way, Gwenora, for the cat vantage. Hand it over to Dythone/Austin. Let's see what difference the power of cat will make. But first, before the power of cat, there is the power of Gru. And this creature stitched out of flesh is moving forward towards Dythune. A burn mark on it from where the chain hit. And it's going to try to hit Dythune with an confounding bite.
I feel like Milo is trying a confounding bite.
I rolled the cat die again, and this was a grand total of 7 on the cat die. So it does not
Yay.
hit you. And
Where
that
are we
also
going?
ends its turn, which does bring us to the Acleo. Frozen in place. Disadvantage. It's disadvantage on the next weapon attack, not on all weapon
Let me
attacks.
double read clear. Disadvantage on the next weapon attack it makes before the end of its next turn. So yes, not the full turn.
Okay. And it is frozen to the ground.
Still do everything, but yeah. And I remember as players that these things had a nasty mechanic, but it had a buddy nearby. So I hope that disadvantage helps.
Okay. Yeah, let's see. Cat die and Caro die. It's going to make its first... It's going to make its claw attack against Delphine. And has to do this one at disadvantage.
It's not.
With disadvantage, the total is 21.
Yes, that hits.
Well,
is-
worth a try.
That is 9 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Because the other enemy isn't next to Delphine.
That is correct. Now, it still has a second attack without disadvantage. And that is a bite attack that will go towards Rebus, which is...
So you have
Since Rebus has been
advantage.
doing this recklessly, the attack has advantage on this. Let's see. Cat and Caro die with advantage. With advantage, this bite attack that comes from his partially frozen head is a 28 against
Yeah, that-
Rebus.
Silvery barbs.
Thanks.
Silvery barbs.
As Rayn like
are-
chips off like some of the ice like straight into its eyes, trying to. So roll one more time and take the lower of the end results. Let me mark this off.
Thank you.
I don't know if
Alright,
it did
let's take a
anything.
Let's take a third die for this. That is, the lower result is still a 24.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah,
Kill-
okay, well.
Kill this.
Um,
Advantage will go to. Who's next? Delphine.
Delphine will have advantage, but we still need to resolve damage for this attack, this biting attack that comes in there.
Yeah.
Rebus, you take... Oh, wait, I actually... Yeah.
Oh wait, Delphine gets cat advantage. How nice. So
Yeah.
That
let's
is-
resolve things first.
That is 12, 14, 16 points of piercing damage, but you are raging, so you're halving that, so it's 8
Reduced
points.
to 8.
But I also need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh yeah.
You have a +2, Rebus.
23 then.
Holy moly, nice. Yeah, that is very good. One mistake I made last time is even on a successful save, you still take half damage from it. So I am going to roll for see how much, whatever I'm going to roll, you're going to take half of this.
It's probably like 2. Fine.
You take 12 points of poison damage.
Okay.
It's fine.
Oh.
And
Well, I am resistant to poison.
So half.
so you take 6
So
points.
half of the half.
Yeah.
Hooray for
Oh,
robots.
perfect. The
Yeah. Poisoning robots, not the most efficient thing.
And I think that's the conclusion this Acleo also draws as it retreats, its bite, its teeth from you, and almost looks unimpressed with it. Was expecting more, but it's hard to bring Rebus, the Warforged, down. And
I look at it and growl with the mechanical maw in response.
nice. All right. That ends its turn and brings us to Vola, who is going to just very quickly. Here's a lesson to all DMs. Don't run spellcaster NPCs. They have too much information on them. She's going to draw out her. She's going to just Thorn Whip this. Thorn Whip the Acleo in front of her. And that is a 19 that hits the Acleo for 3 points of damage. There. And that brings us over to Delphine. And did I hear someone giving advantage to Delphine? Yes, I heard that correctly. Let me put that in the overlay.
I had also given advantage to Delphine from Silvery Barb, so.
That's true.
Ah,
So you
so-
have, so you can pick your poison.
Yeah. So I guess we're going for the Axleo
Mm-hmm.
to get these keys. So I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm taking my rapier and attack this shit twice.
Let's
and
go.
I think I'm taking on both attacks. I'm taking the cat. Yeah, I'm
Sil-
taking for both. Yeah.
For Silvery Barbs, you have to. It's the next thing you do takes has
Yeah.
advantage.
Yeah.
So first attack. Where's my second D20 there? Something over 20. Math.
Yeah, that hits. That hits.
Mash.
Something over 20 does hit.
Yeah, 25. That hits. Okay, that's the first one. That's the 8 plus stuff. So wait. It's written. So that's 7 plus 8 plus. I always forget that this weapon has extra damage that I need to add up. So the first part of this is 7 plus 8 is 15.
How do you want to do this?
I mean, it's not frozen anymore, isn't it?
It's still like its feet are still frozen to the ground.
Yeah, okay. Since this is a weapon that is infused with a dragon's breath, it's basically, you can see like how this magical shimmer is going around this weapon as she stabs into that thing. It splinters apart.
Splinters apart and spreads around the room as you end its existence.
Okay, cool. I don't have action to pick up the keys.
No, you do see indeed what remains. You hear the clattering of the ding-ding-ding of the keys dropping to the ground and lying there.
Can I put my feet on top of the keys so that, like, one of my, yeah, like, and basically moving my foot so that I can stand on top of the keys so that no one else, no other creature is taking them, like as a movement thingy, as I'm moving on the position where that creature was.
Another creature could take into your space as long as they don't end it. They can take the keys.
I would say you could, for example, you still have movement. If you
Yeah,
move
that's right.
over if you move over into the square where the Acleo was, you basically are in that square, and if anyone tries to take them from them, we would have some roll-offs to see what happens.
I mean, I'm basically standing on top of the keys. I cannot pick them up now.
Perfect.
But then I can make the second attack against the other Gru that is there. Did I notice that there's something dropping from the ceiling?
Oh yeah, you heard like this drip, drip, drip all around you.
Okay, that would be an action to look around what's going on there. So I will just attack that Gru. I will not use the advantage on that one.
Okay.
Because it doesn't make sense. It's just a...
That's fair. We'll keep the cute cat in the overlay.
That's 19, I guess.
Yeah, that hits.
Yep, that's a 19. Not that good. 10 plus shit plus 11. 21 points of damage to that one for that attack.
How much?
21.
Yeah, that blasts into that creature. It's still standing, but you basically burst away parts of its right arm.
Cool. I love this weapon. Why didn't I use the extra damage that it can deal earlier? Why didn't I see that? Yeah, I'm vibing. That's my
No,
turn.
you're vibing. You're vibing. That's your turn. All right. That leads us to the creature that you just attacked, and it's going to try to return the favor against you, Delphine.
Oh yeah, bring it.
But I think an 11 is not enough to
Nope.
hit.
No.
All right. At the top of round 4, the goo and ooze dripping from between the tiles was already a sign of things to come.
Your guardian
And-
does not keep up with plumbing.
As Rayn mumbles that, dropping from between the tiles, squeezing itself through it, like kind of like that scene from that one Terminator movie where one of the Terminators like goes through the bars, like just fades through the bars. You see coming into the room, there is another Acleo that manifests, forms itself, and looks at that place that Delphine is currently guarding. As you hear Vola shouting, "We need the keys! Don't let it get the keys!" And I'll going to roll initiative for it to see where we get this handsome fellow into initiative.
I mean, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so it's fitting.
That was a 19. Not good, not bad, but you are aware of another contestant here, and we're at the top of round 4 with Rebus kicking it off, biting it off.
Indeed.
Rebus, don't forget you have that
Nice,
cool sword that's like likes to eat aberrants.
In the last
Right, you
session,
handed it over.
Oh,
Rayn handed it over
my
to you.
inventory because I am smart.
I do
What
think
is
you do
the sword?
for the purpose of keeping it simple. If you just decide to use that sword that Rayn gave you, you can basically just roll an attack roll as if you were using your glaive. But I will make sure that if you hit with it, any special things that sword does are being taken care of.
Okay, with my glaive as in two-handed,
You can also wield it one-handed.
Yeah,
or
it was a
with
long
my-
sword, so
It's
it's
a long
versatile.
sword. Yeah.
You choose.
It's a longsword, okay. Right. Yeah, if it's a longsword, I can just use the longswords that I have.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so I will actually drop one half of my blade, of my glaive, to the ground and draw this sword and see what it can do.
All right.
I will attack this thing to the south of me and see what happens.
All right.
And I will do so recklessly because, who cares?
Exactly.
That's only a 13 to hit.
You can
All of these rolls are really bad.
add +1 to that, which would make it a 14, and that is enough to hit.
Oh, excellent. Alright, then let's attack. 13 points of slashing damage.
13 points of slashing damage?
Yeah.
Make that 14 as you as this weapon, as roughly made as it looks, but with this purple shimmer to it, this longsword just cuts through this creature like butter, and the creature just comes apart as you finish it off.
You can hear my gears kind of adjusting for a moment as I balance the sword in my hand. And you could swear you can see a loading wheel in Rebus's light just... Alright then. And I will run over here to this other Aclio and try the sword again, now that I know what
Sure.
I can do. Also with advantage, I guess, because
Yes.
that's what we
Actually,
discovered. 20...
With this one, the advantage it's currently still harder to hit because it's all gooey and unstable. So your advantage is cancelled out, so it would be a straight roll.
Okay. But that's fine. The first roll was still a 20 plus 1, like you said, so 21 to hit.
Gotcha. That does hit.
Alright. Damage. 9, 10 points of slashing. Already with the plus 1.
Perfect. And with this weapon, where your glaive was the glaive that cut in, it felt like there was more resistance to where you cut. With this longsword, it just cuts into the goo this Aclio is made of and only stops as it hits some debris that is hovering inside the Aclio. But you notice that it's taking the full damage from this weapon.
I will then, for my bonus attack, try and bite it. Because,
Sure. And this one is still reckless, and now it is going to be with advantage because you've hit it, and now you know where its gooey form is.
Alright, 23 to hit.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Would have been nice to have a critical, but it's fine. Because it would be, I can't attack with this special sword again anyway. If I want to do weapon fighting, I need to use a different weapon. So I figured biting would be fun. 12 points of damage.
See, since your teeth are just your Warforged teeth, you do hit, but these one again feel like the creature is more resistant to what you're doing, and
that's fine. There's still a magical light, so the arcane power that pulsates in my core kind of goes inward through the mesh of teeth and then comes back outward into my chest cavity, and I regain 3 hit points.
Perfect.
From that.
Waste not, want not. And you do get indeed 3 hit points back. Anything else you would like to do?
Where are the keys?
The keys are currently Delphine, where Delphine is standing, and Delphine is guarding them.
Alright, yeah, I will put myself over here.
Okay.
So, if Delphine wants to do anything, she still can, but I'm right there.
Perfect. That
And that's my turn.
ends your turn and brings us over to Dythun in the hallway.
Cool. Dythun in the hallway is going to attack the Gru in the hallway.
The Gru in the hallway is being attacked.
That's not good.
Well, what's the total?
That's 11.
That is just enough to hit. These guys don't have
Okay.
much armor class.
I also rolled a 1 on the d4, so that's 4.
4 points of damage to it. It's burning into it. It just cackles again.
Yay. And 11 again.
That hits.
And that's a little bit better. That's a 6.
A 6. Another cut from the chain. It's still standing, and you hear Murtal in your head like, why is it still standing?
You're not effective enough.
Get good.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can I just punch it with my shield as 2-weapon fighting as a bonus action? Is that...
That would be an improvised weapon. So,
Which is straight, and then
yeah.
straight, so no modifiers unless you have brawl fighting, and
Yeah.
then the damage would be with your strength.
Strength modifier. It's just your flat strength modifier.
Yep.
The DMG is like.
No, it's a 9.
Unfortunately, you try to bunk it with the shield, but it just leans back and just like and stands still in front of you.
Austin.
Uh-huh.
Skill issue.
Yeah, I know it is, for real. But he doesn't fight with his shield, surprisingly. One thing he never
Mortal says
changes.
in return, "No, you get good."
All right. We leave the mental Twitch chat of Dythun and Mortal and go over to Rayn.
Rayn will just kind of mutter on, say on her turn, like, "Vola, is there something these things are weak against?" And Rayn is going to lob a 2nd level ice flavored chromatic orb.
Ice flavored chromatic orb.
So let's roll to hit. 9 plus 8 is 17. 17.
Yeah, that hits.
Makes me nervous. Okay. And that is 48. Yes. Eight plus 2 is 10 plus 8 is 18 cold damage.
18 cold damage, blasting that into it. And as you shout it over to Vola, like, is there something weak against? And she just raises one finger and she points at Rebus with one hand. And then with the hand that holds her staff, she points at Dythun.
Fine. Moving. Can I see anyone? I'm floating 10 feet over.
Yep.
5, 10, 15. No, I don't see. Just skirting. I moved a lot. I
You
still
moved,
just
yeah.
barely see Dythun, and I'm gonna finish there, 10 feet over the situation. I'm gonna click enter now.
That leads us over to the Acleo, who is standing there and is going to try to go for the keys by stepping closer here, and is starting off with a claw attack against Delphine. That is a 24
That hits.
for a total of 6 points of piercing damage.
Okay, yes.
And it is then going to try to bite you.
It's okay, by the way, I'm already on the floor.
You are already at 0 hit points.
I'm at 0 hit points again.
Okay, so
Yay.
it sees you dropping then, and it's then not going to do another attack against you. It's going to use its second attack to attack Rebus to eliminate any other kinds of dangers that might be around. And 16. Does a 16 hit?
No, it doesn't.
It tried to rake out with its teeth, trying to cut into you, but misses as Delphine is falling to the ground unconscious. But it is going to then. Is it though? It's
Is
going
it?
to hold its ground here. And that brings us to the Gru down here, who is still cackling, still madly just making sounds, and it's going to attack Daithun.
Ooh, yeah.
And that's a natural 1. It's not going to attack Daithun.
No, it's not. Diamond's just
And-
gonna look at it and say, skill issue.
And that brings us to Vola, who sees that Delphine is on the ground, and she is kind of torn between putting some healing of one of her last remaining spell slots into Delphine, getting the freaking keys.
Roll for it. Make a roll.
I mean, Vola would see Rayn like pulling, like her hand going to a healing potion and like kind of aiming her body downwards.
Yeah, Vola is like, she like reaches out for the keys and grabs both of them, and is then going to go for a run up here, which allows for the Acleo to make an opportunity attack against her. That's a 20.
Not a nat. Total. Dirty.
Dirty.
Okay.
Dirty. Not a natural one. But that is still for Vola. Yikes, that's 9 points of piercing damage, and she has to make a Constitution saving throw. Oof. Yeah, she fails that one. And
Vola.
That's just the key, at least.
um
I mean, if y'all keep wailing on the monster, I can get next to Delphine, administer a healing, and with a bonus, try to push a baddie away from Delphine.
29 points of poison damage
Bye, Vola.
as
Bye, Vola, is what I said.
yeah,
Yeah.
Vola is dropping to the ground and lies there. Yes, Ida /
As
Rayn.
Vola drops to the ground, Ida asks, you mentioned she's a person of orcish descent.
Oh, yes, she is.
My brain will do anything mechanically to
Oh,
balance the
she
scales.
absolutely is.
Ida
Oh.
knowing the rules, let's go!
She actually she fumbles, but there's like this second wind that's just this grit in her, and she's standing in front of the locker with the keys, and it's like looks back at the monster. Not today. And
D&D is fun when you know the rules. It's more fun when you know the rules.
And when you know where you can fumble the rules.
You gotta know
that-
to fumble them first.
ends Vola's turn and brings us to Delphine, who is unconscious on the ground. So I need a death saving throw. Oh, the periapt. You
No,
got-
it's already used.
It's
it's infinite use.
No,
It's-
it's not infinite use.
No, yes it is. Wait, periaptive wound closure, right?
Okay. Normally it's
When you're dying to start in it, it doesn't have a cooldown. While you wear this pendant, you stabilize whenever you're dying at the start of your turn. In addition, whenever you roll a hit die to regain hit points, double the number of hit points it restores.
There's no usage on it.
okay, yeah, then I don't need
Start
that.
of your turn.
You are indeed stable at the end of the turn. No, wait, start of the turn. Dying at the
Start of the
start
turn.
of your turn. Yeah, so you
Yeah.
you are at least stable now. You're still unconscious, but you're not at the threat of dying at this point.
Less of a threat.
But there isn't much else you can do.
Oh, I'm laying there. I'm vibing.
You're vibing. Perfect. All right. Top of round 5. Just to quickly sketch the situation here. We have Vola, who just barely made it over to the locker at the end of the room with the remaining 2 keys. There's another Acleo dropping here right next to Rebus. Delphine is unconscious on the ground. Dythun is in the hallway. Rayn is in the sky. And it is Rebus' turn at top of round 5.
How does this Acleo look?
Slimy.
The one right next to. Well, yeah, but like, does it look hurt or like? Is it still?
Doesn't look really bothered at this point. Like that magic blast that Rayn pumped into it seemed to chip away something, but it still looks like it got some it got some chutzpah left in it.
I would like to help Delphine because I'm right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a healing potion. I can give her a healing potion.
That would be your action then, that you use your action to feed
Yeah.
the potion to her.
Yep, yeah, I know. But, you know, I'd rather she's free to move around and not be in incredible danger. So,
Makes
yeah.
sense.
My last potion of healing goes to Delphine. It's a normal potion of healing, so 2d4 plus 2. I don't
So
know
you
if
can also
you want
can
to
roll
roll
the
it yourself or... Right.
Oh. Where am I? One. Okay. I rolled 4, and because of the periop, I can double the dice.
No, that's for hit
Yeah.
die. That's for hit die, not
Ah, yeah,
for
hit die. No, no, then
yeah,
not.
so-
Then it's just 4.
But did you also add the +2? Because it's okay. So 4 hit points, but you are at least you opened your eyes. You're on the ground, and being brought back to life by Rebus.
Yep. And
Waste of
that's
money.
all I can do right now. So
You could still use your. Can't you use your bonus action for an attack, or do you have to have used your action? To use...
only if I attack. Yeah, only if I attack first.
Okay. Right. That does also mean,
Um,
however, since if you're not
Yeah.
attacking this turn, that your rage will end at the end of this turn.
If nothing hits me. If something hits me, I will still be raging.
If you're attacked or attacked.
Delphine can slap
then-
me. It's fine.
Or if your turn ends and you haven't attacked a hostile creature since your last turn or taken damage since then.
Yeah, but I did.
Oh, you did
Well-
take damage from the last. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
good. You're good.
Yeah. So it's.
Gotcha. That's your turn?
Yeah. That's all that Rebus can do right now. So.
Typhoon.
Dythun is angry. Dythun would like to rage, but he's not a barbarian, so he can't.
Nice.
He's just gonna pull out his like shimmering longsword, and he's like, "These chains aren't working as well as I was promised. Going back to this, and he's just taking 2 swings with his longsword.
Swing away.
Let's do these 2. That'll hit. That's 14 plus 7, which is
yeah.
math.
Yes.
Yeah, D8. There we go. That's the one I was looking for. That's a 1 plus a 4. That's 5 damage for that first attack.
And you notice
Yay.
that they are, with that longsword that you're using, you're not doing as much damage as you were hoping for.
Mm-hmm. He had a feeling that would happen. But, oh well. He's committed. That's a 19.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah. Saving cat advantage. Might need it.
Who knows? What does the future hold? No one knows.
Where did it go? 7 points of slashing damage.
7 points, which is even halved. It is still enough to take out this one as it just cuts through and it collapses.
Perfect. Dython is running up there. It's like as soon as it like drops, just turning and taking off to start attacking this thing.
All right.
But nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
That's all I got.
Brings us then to
there you go.
Rayn up in the air.
Okay, since Delphine is stabilized, or rather conscious now, Rayn is going to kind of like float over, and with the momentum as she flies over, she's going to telekinetically try to shove the Akliu 5 feet this way. So if you could please make a strength saving throw, DC 16.
Yeah, fails it.
All right, so I'd like it pushed over.
Pushed over
Yep.
here.
Thank you. And as it's sort of losing its footing again, I'm going to send another 2nd level chromatic orb. Let's roll some dice.
All right, so let's pull out that Pythagorean theorem again.
No, don't need to. 7 plus 8 is 15.
15 does not hit.
Damn it. Nothing happens then, but my spell slot goes. No. I moved from there 5 feet. Yeah, it's further away from. Fuck. Oh, fuck. Rayn lands in between the Akliu and Vola.
Does
The
that-
face I'm making now is the same face Rayn makes as she looks over to Vola. It's like,
Who's like clutching her belly and is just like trying to reach the locker. But she looks grateful for your action. The Akliu stands there, sees surrounded by the party, and accepts this dance, steps closer towards Dythun, who is wielding a weapon that is anathema to it, and it's going to try and attack you, Dythun.
Try it.
That's a 24.
Is it?
Is
these
it?
shits have a high modifier, or he's rolling really well for them.
This 24
It's 24.
shield.
Which
Armor
makes
class
a
25.
Yeah!
Oh, shimmering
And
bird.
I've
Let's go.
realized this whole time there's been a secondary thing to this shield.
Good to know.
Whenever I use my dragon mark to cast the 1st level spell, I can roll a hit dice, and if it's an even number, I gain that number of temporary hit points. If it's an odd number, it is one random creature takes damage. But let's see. I'm just gonna Just try it.
Let's
Let's
a
go,
cool.
roll-
I
why
am not
not?
familiar with that mechanic. That is cool.
Yeah, it's
Oh
from
my
your Dragon Mark.
God,
It's
one.
like
what?
it's like way in the aberrant
Yeah.
dragon mark.
Yeah.
Like it's like 3 paragraphs down.
Awesome.
Roll,
All
roll.
right.
Where's my-
I guess I'm gonna use a fighter hit dice.
All right. So that's a D10.
Let's see what happens. Hey, that's a 7.
That's an odd
So-
number.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 other creatures in the room. I don't know how to.
Like Vola 1, Rayn 2, Dython 3, etc., etc. Well, other than yourself or including yourself?
Other than myself.
Oh.
Other than yourself. Yeah. Ever.
So
Like,
do
let me
you-
quickly
do you-
pull up. When
You
you
just
cast
roll a d10.
one random creature within 30 feet of you takes force damage equal to the number rolled. Okay, so we have Vola, Rayn, Rebus, Delphine. That's 4.
And the Acleo.
And
And the
actually,
Acleo, so that's
That's
5.
5.
Okay, let's say like this. I'm gonna roll a d6.
Mhm.
1 is Vola, 2 is Rayn, 3 is the Acleo, 4 is Rebus, 5 is Delphine, and
Yeah.
the 6 is a reroll.
Go for it.
Rollies.
That's a 2.
Me-
So,
Whoops.
Rayn, you. What does it look like when your aberrant dragon mark damages someone like this?
I think it's as the shield comes up, it just like blasts back, but like in a random arc. And so I
Ow!
think it just. Whoops. Shit, sorry.
That lashes out over at Rayn, who takes that 7 points of force damage from the shield.
Whoopsie.
But at least for the rest of this turn, you now have an AC of 25, or is shield just against
Mm-hmm.
a triggering attack?
I believe it is until my next turn.
Yep, that is correct.
Yeah. Oof, 25.
Until the
Um,
start of my next turn.
All right. It is then sees that shimmering and sees the power from your mark rising, and it turns towards Rayn, and it's going to try to make its second bite attack against Rayn, which is an 18.
Damn it! No! Why did it have to be an 18 of all things? She'll meets it, beats it. So no, that's useless.
Yeah, me.
Mhm.
Yep.
I'm gonna gamble. Silvery barbs.
So I have to re-roll and take the lower result, right?
Yep. So I
Okay.
see the bite coming for me, and I see the alternate universe other bite, and I go peek to see what that is, and I have to take one of these two.
Okay, the other result is a total of 21.
Yeah, they both will hit.
Okay. The great thing is it does not apply sneak attack damage to this because it has no allies around it at this
I
point.
give myself advantage.
You give yourself advantage. Perfect.
I think I know what's coming.
It's 7 piercing damage first, and I need a Constitution saving throw from you.
Okay, the Delphine is.
I'm alive.
It's totally-
I'm breathing. I'm kind of up, so you get your +2.
Good, because I would have needed that. That is a total 19. I rolled really low.
19 does succeeded, so you still take half damage from
I'm
this.
out, whatever you're rolling, because that's a lot of die.
They're all ones.
I would be out probably still.
Wait. Marcus does math. 11, 13.
I'm out.
Okay. Really? Even half of it? 13, 14, 18, 19, 20. Half of it is 10. Are you out? Goof.
Where did
Dropped.
those other 7 hit points go? Wow, that's weird. It was a
And-
gamble. It might have happened.
Vola
And-
Might have been good.
That takes out Rayn, and at the end of its turn, it is using some movement, and you might, the rest of the table who's still conscious, might want to do something because it's leaving. No, it's not going to leave everyone's range. It's going to step over here, but it is stepping out of Rebus and Delphine's
Sorry, you're right.
reach, so you can make opportunity attacks if you want to.
Oh god, I have disadvantage.
Sure will. with the special
Let's-
sword.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Come here. Oh, that was terrible. It's a 12.
Hmm.
It's okay. I will just fight.
Delphine, do you also want to make an opportunity attack?
Even with your gun, you have disadvantage? Oh no, it has to be
Oh.
melee.
Has to be a melee. Has to be
Yeah.
a melee. attack.
Hmm.
Try. Please try.
I just, yeah. Yeah, yeah, I try.
Let's go. Let's see where this goes. And you do still have cat vantage you can spend if you want to. You still
I
have
don't-
your cat.
Bend it?
I still have cat advantage.
Yeah, she spent it.
Oh,
Carried
right.
2 attacks with advantage back to back.
Oh.
One was silvery, one was cat vantage.
No, I didn't spend the second.
No, the second one
on
we
the other
didn't.
one.
We didn't spend
Excuse
the.
me, I've been corrected.
But I kind of want to save it in case there's another kind of saving throw, you know.
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, I probably don't make it with what is it? 14?
Unfortunately, no,
Hmm.
that does not hit it as it moves over there and ends its turn there. I will remove the group from the initiative. Vola's turn is up. She sees this creature. She has the keys in his hands, and she cannot waste time. She needs to put the keys into the locker. She puts the remaining 2 keys in there, and she spends her turn flicking keys. And you can hear the locks going click, 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 opening up as she's starting to pull open the locker. And that brings us over to Delphine, still on the ground, but conscious.
Okay, yeah, getting up, moving over to Rayn. I don't have much movement left, and I'm not attacking that thing because Rebus is the next one. Wait, I'm moving here so that Rebus has a better movement, and I'm giving Rayn 5 hit points of my lay on hands. That's my action.
5
Does
hit points on
Does
her.
it come gently?
I'm also nearly dead. I don't have the energy to do anything violent against my own people at the moment.
All right. Anything else you want to do on your turn?
Oh no, I cannot do anything anymore.
All right.
That's all what I can do.
At the top of round 6, we have our Triton on the ground, but safe from death. Vola, the druid gatekeeper, busy opening the locker in which the tools the party needs to recharge the shards that keep things locked here can be found. And still an oozy enemy about. How this continues in round 6 of this fight, we're going to find out after we take a little break so that we can grab some drinks, stretch your legs. We're going to be gone for about 10 minutes, so we'll be back at like 22 past the hour. Take the chance to also stretch your legs, take a drink, make sure there's no goo dropping from your ceiling, and otherwise call an exterminator. And we'll see you in about 10 minutes. See you soon.
Who are you gonna call? It's the Ghostbusters. That's who you're gonna call.
Exactly. And welcome back. We here on Horde of Tales for the second part of today's session of the Convergence Manifesto. Our party is in the deeps of a fight with a slimy Akluian creature. And we're at the top of round 6 trying to find out how all of this will end. And kicking off round 6, like they have kicked off the previous 5 rounds, is Rebus with Dythun on deck.
Yeah, well, let's do what I do best, which is move over here and try to hit real hard. I am so mad.
So mad.
Serial is the one raging, not Rebus.
Special. Yes, special sword. I'm gonna do reckless again because this is what this is what we do. That's a 25 to hit.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, that does hit, yeah.
Terrible damage. It's like 8 damage.
Oh, wait. Hold up. I did some math
I
wrong
said
here.
8, not 32.
Whew. Actually make that 9 as that blade sizzles through it. And you can actually see floating inside the goo of this creature is another set of skulls. And it's not the head that turns, but the skulls in the goo that turn around and look at you as your weapon burns into the aberration.
I'll do that again.
Sure.
Do I get advantage on this one?
Yes.
Yeah, 23 to 24 to hit.
Roll the damage.
Another 1 on damage. I cannot believe. That's 7 points of damage. It's doing the
And that
smallest
also,
little dents.
step by step. Is there anything else you would like to do?
Well, yeah, time for another bite. See if it hits. Yeah, 30, 20 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
For so really low damage. 7 points of damage.
Which is also, since this is your bite,
I
this is also
heal
half.
3.
And you get 3 back. A bite out of crime.
That is it.
That is Reba's turn, chipping away at the creature and bringing us over to Dythun with a dying Rayn on deck.
Oh, I'm up. I'm conscious.
Yes, sorry, you are indeed. You're fine.
So Rayn is conscious.
Yep.
Yes,
Okay,
Prone
perfect.
but conscious. Yep.
you can change
Um,
that if you want to, but you shouldn't.
No. It's secretly my whole heel turn of this whole campaign. Would Dythun have noticed, is Rayn's magic seeming to be hitting normally?
Yes.
Okay, Dythun's going to take a little bit of a gamble here again, but not as big of a gamble. It's not going to hurt anyone, don't worry. He's actually going to step back from the... He's going to step back from the Akliu.
Mm-hmm. It's
It has
not
reach.
taking an opportunity attack.
Oh, that's right. Okay. He is going to firebolt.
All right.
Because he can do that still.
That's true. Dythun can do so many things.
Card dice say 16 to hit.
That is the number we were looking for, and that does hit.
Yay! The price is right. That's just 2d10, so that's 10 total of fiery damage.
Flying into it, more goo splashing out of it, and it's like just patches of goo holding it together, floating partially in the air.
Somebody kill this thing. I'm tired of goo. I'm tired of patchwork people. Just this is not fun. He's gonna just
Rain.
Okay. Does that happen? Moving to get up.
Yep.
Prone? Hello? There you go. And I look at Vola, who's like probably wheezing, holding herself up on her staff. I'm also like using my own staff to like pull myself up, which is like this. It's glass, but every flavor has like this long icicle. It's perpetually cold.
Mm.
And I just pick up my staff and I just wail on the fucking thing, and I have advantage. And I am proficient in it, so I can.
Right, you gave yourself advantage from the silvery barbs.
I put my
Right.
I put my second hand on it, so I'm going to try to swing it 2 hands. One was a 7 total, if not relevant, and the other was a not 20.
Nice.
But it's gonna be itty bitty
Nice.
damage.
Did it.
Let's see what it's gonna do.
Let's,
Oh, it's a D8 when it do two-handed. Oh.
so 2d8.
Plus 1 because of my baby strength. Okay. Come on. That's not bad. 12 total blunt damage.
You firmly grab your staff and smack right into the abdomen of the creature. The goo flubbering around your staff and also killing parts of the momentum of your staff as you have to exert strength to pull it out of the creature. You did damage. Your staff is not made of the right material to vanquish a creature of Xoriat.
Bonus action, telekinetic shove. This way.
So you basically like move past it and then shove it where you stood.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Strength saving throw 16. Please.
Yeah, that's a total of 5, so it's getting shoved. Whoop.
Shove. And I'm going to move back into the space. Again, putting myself, hopefully, shielding Vola. We're not doing good. Are you fucking kidding me? Anything else? How close is this stupid thing?
It is what you can imagine. It started out as a very like continuous humanoid form made out of goo, but there's parts of it blasted out of it, and only some kind of defiance of gravity is holding the remains of it aloft. And as there's just holes being shot in it, parts of what kind of trash and debris that were in it are scattered all around it. It looks close to being gone, but it is not yet gone.
So is Vola. I have nothing, guys. I'm so sorry.
It is the Acleo's turn.
Hey, look at me, fucker. Hey, you're made of jelly. You're made of that jelly that everyone skips at the breakfast buffet. You know that jelly? That's you. Fuck you.
It's gonna smack Rayn first with a claw attack.
I'm down. Immediately.
That is a 22.
Yeah.
8 points of piercing damage.
Bye.
And it is then going to attack Vola, which is a 20. Yeah, whatever I'm going to...
I don't have the
I
spell.
don't have that one, unfortunately.
Oh, and she
I got
even
everything
fails,
else. I don't have that one.
She even fails the Constitution saving throw.
Just 1 HP. Don't roll.
Yeah, okay. She is
Marcus
also
is just happy to roll that many dice. We'll let him
dropped
do it.
unconscious to the floor.
It takes an
And-
action to pick up something, so.
That bite that just snapped into Vola, who screams before she drops to the floor, and the Acleo just stands there, whatever remains of it, towering over the unconscious bodies of Rayn and Vola, and the remains turning to the rest of the party. Vola has to make a death saving throw. Vola has rolled her death saving throw. Delphine, it is your turn.
Please finish.
Shoot it, kick it, bite it.
Okay. It's that Acleo is nearly dead. So from what we see. Also just barely holding on with the few hit points that I have. I'm gonna stab that fucker to death.
Please stab it to
Go ahead. You still have the cat vantage.
I probably don't need it. Let's see, first attack.
Do you need to announce?
I need someone to blow my die. But there's no one here. It doesn't matter. That is 23 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Nice.
Roll that damage.
Okay, that's the first attack. That is +8. It's 11 plus 2d6. 18 points of damage on that roll.
How do you want to kill your second Acleo in 6 rounds of combat?
Yeah, basically stepping into it and with a smack on the side, smashing it against the wall so that it makes a fine picture of art on the wall.
Perfect. Stab into it and fling the remains against the wall as it is dead and down. But so are also at least down 2 of our...
We're out of combat, are we?
We are now dropping out of combat.
Okay, I'm giving 1 point to Vola and Rayn.
Really?
Like not shared. Each gets 1.
Each get a half.
We round up in D&D.
Andrew was like getting ready to like spare the dying, like both people. Like, nope, you got it. All right.
Vola opens her eyes. The keys. Yes, they're in. I'm
Good. You did good.
Where's the... You destroyed the Ecleos.
Yep, they're gone. Hurry up.
Oh,
Close the door.
This literally Dythan walks over. It's as close as the doors. He takes his javelin of lightning. If there's any kind of like handles, he's just like barring them.
absolutely. Ramming those in there and making sure the door sticks closed as Vola pulls herself up and turns towards the locker. She looks at... First, before she continues looking at the locker, she looks at the party. I'm sorry to say this, but... we all look pretty terrible right now.
Rude.
Yourself.
You have absolutely no rights to complain. I nearly died 3 times today.
Oh, it wasn't meant as a complaint. Just...
We are grabbing the most luxurious drinks we can after we've saved the world again.
Right. Wait. And she turns towards the locker, and with all the locks unlocked now, she's opening it. And there is shelves and boxes in there. And you also see, however, that stored in there is this box with just these beautiful crystals and shards in them. And she says, right.
No thunder damage.
She turns towards you. Are you okay? This one's not trapped. That's why it has 4 locks on it. And you need to put the right keys into the right holes.
Are we safe here?
Yes, we are.
Is the
For now.
situation safe for a bit?
Well, Vola puts that box out with all the crystals and gems. We are safe in here, but if we don't get to the other rooms to replace the shards that keep the containment going, I'm not sure how long we're going to be safe here.
How far away are these rooms? Where's the closest one?
All these rooms are in a circle around the containment chamber. We would need to walk that entire circle. There's 3 rooms that we need to get to. And they shouldn't be far, but with Xoriat already leaking, time and distance, they can get iffy.
Do we have this much time? And Ida's asking, do we have an hour?
Yeah, we need a break. We
Yes, I agree.
desperately in need of a break.
Do we
I do
have
agree.
it? If you say no, then I'm going to limp, my fabulous self limp forward. But I'd like to know.
I see. I think we can. Going on like this would be dangerous. We should take this rest. And it will also give.
An hour makes things worse. Is it still within
Salvageable.
repairable? Yes. Can we salvage it after an hour?
The fact that we got access to this locker with these gems changes this entire situation. We can salvage that even if we take an hour breather.
Wonderful.
Oh, great.
Dyson plops down, pulls out his backpack,
Okay, then.
unties the jug, pulls out his tea set, and is just pouring whatever brew he has going and just starts passing it out to people.
Is it tea? What you're
I would
passing
like-
around?
No, it's like kombucha.
It's kombucha.
I would like
I
to-
got it's alcoholic.
Very slightly.
Yeah, Delphine will take her bottle and basically put the like an addition to that tea.
And he
I
is
would
sitting
like to find
at
a
the
place
door,
in.
by the way.
Yeah, I'd like to find a place in the chamber where I can see well because I can't rest while. I don't really sleep, so. I can keep an eye, and you can, if anyone wants to actually take a nap or just fully, disengage, I will make sure that we're okay.
I mean, we can just do a short rest, which
No,
is
short-
not
short-
much, but
As a player, short rest is what I'm going for.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, of course. I just,
So
Rebus can-
yeah.
keep an eye, so.
Exactly. So you all mechanically, you can press that short rest button on your character sheet,
Yes.
and you can spend hit dice if you want to.
10,
If you need any healing.
18 auf dem.
So
2,
do that, and then that.
Math is happening. So much math is happening.
So, that's great.
10 plus 2 10, 20
That, but there we go.
plus 4,
about you?
24, 18 plus 24 sind 30. Sind...
4 hit die. Five hit die. Ooh.
40,
6 hit die.
42 plus. Oh,
Okay, there we go.
7 hit die.
I don't want to
42.
automatically apply. Thank you.
8 hit die. Oh, that's all my hit die. They're all spent.
All hit dice.
And I'm not at
Damn.
max. Rayn is like kind of just spread eagle in the middle of the floor in the most like picking up space pose. I don't care what people are doing. I need this.
Yeah, just really up in the center there.
plus 8. I'm nearly max with 60 dice.
All right. So, as all of you are going about your ways of recovering from these fights, you are uninterrupted in this chamber. Daithun did stick the Javelin of Lightning in between the handlebars for the door, and Rebus is keeping an eye on any kind of danger while they're also recharging, resting in their own way. Vola, while she's also catching her
Okay,
breath,
I'm removing one of those.
she pulled out a book she has with her, and she seems to be like checking up on notes in there, looking at the crystals she got from the box in the locker, and is making notes in her book as she's looking at it looks like she's preparing for this run past the different rooms that you will have to make to re-enable the shards and the barrier containing the entity that is held here.
But Vola, you have the layout memorized, so you said.
Yes, but I have never replaced any of these shards myself before.
If Rayn thinks back, was that information held in the spell storing crystal that she went through?
Not the parts that Rayn has seen so far, but Rayn knows that the spell shard, the memories that you got out of there, those were not all the memories yet. There are more memories in them.
Touchy touchy.
You want to touch the shard?
Touchy touchy. Last time it was disorienting, but it did not hurt, so Rayn is banking on that.
You touch the shard.
I'm still on the ground, and one arm goes to my waist where I have it, and the other one goes up, and again, the minor illusion finger, like a receiver, is up.
All right. Your fingers touch the shard, and quickly your mind is flooded with new images. You see this vision from a first-person perspective, but you have a feeling that it is not you who is the first person here. From your perspective, you see that there is a beam of energy coming from you, from your chest, reaching out into a cluster of crystals in a room. And as that energy comes into the crystals, they seem to be repaired of any kind of tears and chipping on them. But you also feel the sensation of exhaustion. And it feels what you just did in this memory has drained you of years of your life expectation. And as that beam fades away, you hear an echoey, deep voice in your head just saying, "Oh, now. What a futile attempt. But exciting." And then you feel sweat over your body. You're used to having more like a scaly skin, I would assume, as a Triton, that you have more like used to that feeling. But in your expectation now, it feels as if as if your skin has no scales on them, and you feel that sweat running over it. And then also a thought of a realization comes in. The barrier cannot hold. At that point, Rayn, I need you to make an intelligence saving throw, please.
Wow. That's my friendly paladin right next door. Total 9. With the tarot
fuck.
die.
With the +2 on top?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we lost Rayn. Let's move on.
You instinctively, your fingers stop touching the spell shard. And your hand retracts, but you feel a jolt of pain going through you. And a voice that is very familiar to you speaking in your mind. But now that voice seems amplified. It seems as if it is multiple voices speaking in choir. The tone, the shift, the intonations, it's the voice from Ice White Isle. But this now sounds as if there's a choir of it speaking to you. And they say, "Do you like what we've put together? You can join us in a little bit."
Rayn was on her back. She rolls over. She's in the fetal position with her hands behind her head. And just audibly, she's like, "Fuck you!"
And as all of you see that Rayn is holding this position, screams out those words. Rayn, you take 1 point of psychic damage.
I have resistance to psychic damage.
So you take none points of that. And however, once you're done screaming, the voice vanishes. And you just see the world around you again, the room around you with your companions. And you also see on the wall, one of the walls in the room, you see that there's 7 eyes that have opened on the wall, each in a different color. And they look at you.
I get up and I pull out, start stabbing at it with my staff.
You start stabbing at these eyes with your staff. The rest of the party, what you see is Rayn, after she yelled out this, "Fuck you," she just starts looking at a wall, picks up her staff, and she's just stabbing at the wall, just at the bricks in the wall.
Dython's gonna walk over and
Yes.
behind her place a hand on her shoulder.
Rayn, you feel a touch on your shoulder. And you see, if you look at your shoulder and you look at the hand, you see that there is, on the back of the palm of the hand, there is about a dozen tiny eyes, like those of reptiles, looking at you.
I'm gonna slap the back of the hand. You don't see them. I see them because of, you know why. But I took care of them.
I believe you. I trust you. You'll hear though, right? You're not anywhere else?
The question is, should we be here?
No. It's the short answer.
Because the whole shtick about the Guardians sacrificing themselves, they do. They do, Vola, before their time, sacrifice themselves. And it may be just for shits and giggles in the end.
It's not for shits and giggles.
If it doesn't work, then it's for shits and giggles.
Well, then we have to make it work.
Maybe there is something to that fighting fire with fire. No, they're not allies. They cannot be allies. You were right in that, Vola. But they are a blunt, destructive weapon. If we aim it towards each other. If I use the spiral roll against it.
Are you hearing yourself? Look,
I've heard a lot
I may
of
not.
myself,
I may have no
I know what
experience.
I'm doing.
Do you?
More than you know.
I may have no experience with this complex. I have not been properly trained in its maintenance. But I know why this was built. I know why this is here. And I know why we keep the spiral well in here.
The
And it's
same reason my family has been building defenses, fortresses, and generations of armies to make themselves feel better, to give the semblance of a defense before doing something actively to change the problem. The defense does nothing. It will fall. It is falling. Because things don't change. Because no one takes initiative.
Are you suggesting that generations that came before me in my order, in the Gatekeepers, had not considered what you are saying? Had not considered that we might, instead of keeping it locked, destroy it or fight it?
I think they haven't met someone like me.
Vola at that just like, just lets out this, and turns around and just returns to her book and continues her prep.
it makes sense. Can use Xoriat's power against it. It hasn't been done. There's a reason. Things that are taboo keeps us away from the solutions. The simplest solutions are usually the closest ones.
Rayn,
You're with me.
you know that Xoriat, like, as a plane is like, it's a chaotic plane.
Are you asking me what I know about Xoriat and its influences?
No.
Hmm.
I'm asking you if you're really thinking that a plane that is completely chaotic in its nature itself, where everything, I mean, as far as I know, there's basically mostly just powerful things in there that could easily kill us. You think it's so easily to control that you can use it against itself?
There was one thing you said right in your presumption. There is power. And power is what we need to win.
Oh yeah, go sacrifice yourself. If it's that what you want to do. I will write your mom a letter. Like, oh yeah, Rayn killed herself. Good luck on your journey.
Daithun,
Mm-hmm.
you hear Mortal speaking in your mind as you look at Rayn and Delphine bickering. And Mortal says, "That's how it starts. That's how they start thinking. Let's use it against itself. I can wield it. I know what dangers I'm going into. That's what we once thought as well."
Rayn, Delphine. I have a question for both of you individually. Let's start with Delphine. You don't trust Xoriat, obviously. You shouldn't. Do you trust Rayn?
At this point, let's make it like 30%.
Fair
Because
enough.
I think he hasn't lost her full sanity yet. But then, who
Rayn.
knows, maybe I'm wrong.
Rayn. He walks back over to you and he like holds out his hand. Like basically asking for your hand. And he just like very gently holds it. More for flavor than anything, he's going to cast guidance. And just like try to bring some like clarification to her head. I want you to really and honestly think, is this you speaking or is this chaos speaking? And I know you and chaos go hand in hand quite often. And that's what I like about you, but truly and honestly, is this something you believe you can do, or is this something you're being told you can do?
If you see inevitable and imminent destruction, if you understand the corruption this plane brings forth, not just on a mental or physical, but on a spiritual level, then wouldn't the most logical and sound option be for the drastic approach?
I trust you. I just want to make sure it's you I'm putting my trust in. I'll do whatever I can to help. And he lets go of your hand. And just like mentally to the chains. I will make any decisions of when these people need to be taken care of. If you so much as lay a single link of your chain on them, I will not hesitate to cut off my own arm. And you will be severed from this world. I will throw you into the plane of Xoriat if that's what it takes.
Typhoon, roll an intimidation check with advantage.
He's actually fairly okay at this. That is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Mortal does not speak in response to this. You briefly feel the chains constricting your arm tighter, like a snake that's trying to press together your blood vessels. But then they loosen, and you get a clear feeling that you just were very clear to the ghost of an ancient hobgoblin warlord. And he's not messing with you at this point.
Good.
Now, some shards need to be replaced. You know, just for the motions of doing so, but they should be done.
Vola, as you say that, she picks up her book, closes it, stows everything away, picks up the box with the shards. Yes, we should replace them. I will be leading the way.
Excellent.
Hold up. One thing. I don't know much about the plains of Xoriat. I don't know much about this place. But I do know a fair amount about battle tactics. Should you be holding all of the shards, or should we maybe distribute them so in case something happens to one person, they're not all fucked?
I do not think I can trust you with these shards. But I can trust in all of your martial prowess. That you have proven. I will be leading the way.
Excellent.
Would you be so kind? And she gestures at the javelin that's keeping the door still locked.
Right. Takes that out. Attaches it to wherever it's attached. The
Somewhere
mental
between
image
the...
of this.
Yeah. The whole
I will
camp.
be keeping an extra eye out for the eyes. As
And
someone who has traversed many planes, I am particularly attuned to this sort of thing. Consider it a blessing you don't see them.
the doors of the room are open then, as Vola steps out of them, quickly followed by the rest of you, back into the hallways.
As the others are already are going out, I'm holding Rebus back. So I'd like quietly talking to them so that like the rest doesn't hear it. If Rayn is really going to get mad due to this plane and tries to use this uncontrollable power just for her own sake to pursue a thing that cannot go well, don't hold me back.
Yes, Mr. Fee.
Then basically passing by and joining the rest.
Follow out into the hallway, into the darkness, into the passage filled still with sounds that seem far and close, and onto these chambers that control the barrier. And how that will go, we'll see after a second break for today, as we'll quickly recharge our batteries a little bit, as our characters have gotten a chance to recharge their batteries. We'll be taking another 10-minute break, so we will be back at about 1:15. Take this chance to also stretch your legs again, get something to drink, and just make sure you'll be back in about 10 minutes, and then we continue for the final part of today's session. See
Joy
you in
and
a few.
laughter. Joy and laughter.
Joy and laughter.
Hello and welcome back for the final part of today's session. Our party survived yet another dangerous fight in this dangerous place and is now continuing their dangerous mission of fixing magical crystals that keep an evil from Xoriat sealed in this temple of the Gatekeepers. The party is following Vola through the dark hallways filled with distant sounds. Your steps also echo across the stones. And eventually Vola guides you into the first room, where she must add these new crystals. You step into it. It is even smaller than the room where you fought the Acleo, but fortunately, it seems to be free of any dangerous creatures or other threats that might be facing you. However, one side of this room, one wall, is entirely covered in crystals, almost looking as if they grew from the bottom all the way up over the wall. These crystals, however, are heavily damaged. Chunks of them blown away from them, scattered on the floor in front of you. Other parts look as if someone took a sledgehammer to them and just tried to tear them apart. Vola steps in, gestures for the rest to follow, and she solemnly approaches the crystals. She puts down the box and says, This is a lot of damage. There was no finesse to this. I will be starting the process of fixing it.
Do you need arcane assistance?
She looks at you, still having the words you said earlier ringing in her head. I might.
All right.
Keep close to me.
Are these crystals safe to touch?
They are, but you should handle them with care. They are fragile.
Noted. I will also
They are-
like keep my staff like next to me, like clearly in front of me.
They are a mixture of naturally occurring crystals that we find all over the continent, and there's Bayeshk also worked into them. It's interesting that so long ago, Xoriat came to a plane that actually held the material that could fight it. Anyway, let's get to it. And she starts handing out crystals to you as well, Rayn, as she's looking for places where she can slot them into. While Rayn and Vola are busy doing that, what is the rest of the party doing here?
I think Daithun is like scanning this room to make sure like nothing is like hiding in the ceiling or in the corners or anything like that. And then if there's nothing from that, he's just gonna stand just outside the door and keep an eye out for anything coming by.
Right.
Delphine is staying in the room, basically overviewing the process that is going on.
All right. Reba's also just keeping an eye out for things.
Yeah, just staying out of the way and trying to keep everybody safe.
Gotcha. With the combined effort of you three party members, you're making sure to spot any kind of danger as it might come. For moments, you sometimes think that you can see somewhere in the darkness out there something moving, but turns out to be a trick of the light, whatever light remains in this place. Some of the sounds you've already adjusted to the fact that relying on any sounds approaching is rather tough in this location, as the sound is coming from all over the place. All in all, there does not seem to be any threats currently heading for you. Rayn, you and Vola together make good speed in putting crystals in the right places, filling the gaps, and Vola is also using part of her druidic magic to neatly kind of not really weld, but really attach the crystals to the broken edges, mending whatever kind of wounds they have experienced. And the more crystals the two of you together apply, the more there's a glow coming to this entire wall covered by crystals. At a certain point, Vola takes a step back and quickly takes her notebook, flips through the pages, and then closes it again and says, "The Guardian does have to give their life to maintain the bindings."
Literally.
Usually, the Guardians that are selected when they are granted this task, they free themselves of any previous burden they have, leave behind the past. They even leave behind their names. And they know that they will never leave this place again. But usually, before the previous Guardian comes to die, there's another one that's being trained and ready to replace them. That was not the case for this Guardian.
He had attachments. They had attachments.
Maybe. Whatever has led to this, it was a mistake. But now we're here to fix this.
But this Guardian is one of many, and I assume in generations and generations of self-sacrificing noble individuals. Wouldn't it be better if we're in a place where people don't have to do that? You know, I have a brother, and he has a beautiful shining golden rod up his ass. But when we were younger, he was very good with words. He even fancied himself one day he'd want to be a poet, travel the seas, hear the songs of the creatures. But since there are many threats we face down in the Thunder Sea, such as something not unsimilar to this every couple of generations, his lot in life was to be a soldier, put his life on the line, constantly guarding, instead of the life he would have preferred to have.
You say it yourself, there's been generations of us come before us. And I don't accept the idea that if there was another way, we would have not chosen it. You are so sure of yourself and your knowledge. But how can you be in the face of hundreds and hundreds of years of knowledge?
Well then, if I'm wrong, then simply I will be ascribed to the annals of history of nothing. The theory stands. But if someone is willing to gamble, imagine the change.
Vola looks at you. And Rayn, can you give me a persuasion check, please?
Dirty 20.
She's frowning. But she is listening to your words, not just hearing them. She steps a little bit past you to get closer to the crystals. And you see her moving her hand towards them, puts her hand on the crystal wall. And you see a faint light coming from her hand. As the wall starts to glow. And then she removes her hand. The glow vanishes. And Vola says, there are parts of the bindings that are just used to contain the locker in which the spiral well is held. We could more easily keep the entity contained if we didn't contain the spiral well. It's also the main task of the Guardian to contain the entity. I could try and change the bindings.
We do know there is someone else, unfortunately, after that spiral well, who means to take it away and, you know, start a continental war and all that other jazz. Very unnoble.
Then let us fix the shards so that we can at least contain the entity for now. It will make the process quicker. Then we hurry for the vault in which we keep the well.
And ensure that that vault is kept clear so that any threats approaching it that we know is imminent will be staved off. And then we perhaps workshop a solution from there.
She then, as she's listening to you, there's a moment where her expression relaxes, but then she looks at you and she frowns and says, taking the well outside of this place is not a solution, though.
I agree.
Using the well against what's in here is also not a solution.
I'd rather it not come to that. But I think everything needs to be on the table. I am not a fan of these forsaken eyes on the walls, on people's hands, in my sleep.
While she's still looking at you, she puts her hand back on the crystal wall, light glowing all out of her hand. The crystals start to grow, and also the rest of the party, you all see that now this wall of crystals glows brighter, and you can see how parts of Vola's dark hair around the, like, there's strands of her hair that turn gray. You can actually see the color fading from it. And around her eyes, a few crow's feet start appearing. While she's doing that, she just keeps eyes locked with Rayn and says, "We'll workshop something then." And then pulls her hand back, and you can actually hear her voice has gotten a bit more raspier, older, as the crystals keep glowing once she removes her hand. She steps, looks at the rest of the party, and says in a clear voice to everyone in the room, "As part of the barriers restored, we can head for the next chambers."
Lead the way.
Hope we don't run into any other issues here. And she
You don't say those things out loud, Vola.
picks up the box and wanders off, leading the party out of the room.
With a passive perception of 20, being outside the room, would Dyson have heard Rayn's conversation?
But unless Rayn would have made an active effort of keeping like her voice low or something, which she didn't. You heard the conversation, yeah.
I guess we all didn't hear the conversation.
It's not a big room you were in,
Yeah.
and it's not like you were out meters down into the hallway. All of you would have been able to hear that conversation.
As Vola is walking by Dythun, not necessarily at Vola, but just says, "It's hundreds of generations that have started every war so far. Keep that in mind."
She just looks at you
Carry on.
and wanders on. You follow Vola past some more bends, and after maybe another half hour walking through these haunted hallways, you come into a second similar chamber. Also, one wall covered in shards, crystals. Also damaged, parts of it blown out. But you also see in this room remains of bodies scattered around. There was a fight here. You see about 3 of the bodies of these smaller cackling creatures that you fought earlier. Their bodies riddled with holes. Something burned through their skin from one side to the other. For those of you who have access to the spell Scorching Ray, you would identify these holes as something that Scorching Ray spell leaves behind in people. And Vola looks around and says, "Oh, these bodies, they haven't died long ago."
Could we discern from where the magic hit these monsters? Was it done by someone with a low stature? Like the bullet trajectory
Let me break
was
out
high
my
and low?
Pythagorean theorem real quick.
That's not
It all
Yeah.
leads back.
That's for distance, not height. Well, if you know the hypotenuse, you know the distance, you
Calculating
need
the
that height.
angle. Yeah.
It's always a right angle for a right triangle.
Should I
Right,
turn
right
on the
angle.
CSI theme?
The moment Vola said, "Looks like this hasn't been done long ago," I am immediately just trying to see any tracks or any signs of someone still being here.
Awesome. I think there's 2 things happening parallel here. On the one hand, Rebus, you're keeping an eye out for anything that might have been happening here. Can you give me a perception check for that? And Rayn, if you're trying to figure out if you can see, like, from what kind of angle or something these beams were fired, can you give me an investigation check for that?
Yeah, basically, did this come from someone with a gnomish stature?
Exactly, yeah.
It was a dirty 20 for Rebus
Perfect.
on perception.
11.
11, right. Rayn, you start investigating these bodies, but it's hard to tell. Yeah, some of these holes look like they came from a lower angle, but others look also like the entrance point was from an elevated angle. So there's a bit of mixed signals in here. Rebus, with your dirty 20 on perception, you look around, and one thing that you spot a few meters into the darkness in the hallway, not in the room, in the hallway, you see that there are bloodstains on the floor, and you see 2 empty glass bottles, which look very much like the kind of mass-produced healing potions you would get in Sharn.
I walk over with my glaive put together just on one hand, and I make a gesture to my companions to just point towards the corridor. So they don't have to come over here, or they can keep investigating what they're doing, but just calling their attention to the blood splatters.
I think
feel like-
Dyson walks down the hallway.
Just walks down into the dark hallway.
Just barely beyond that. Like, he's considering, like, just walking, but, like, he's hesitating. He
Right.
goes, like, past where those potion bottles are and, like, stops.
Yeah, if he goes past me, I will just say, there's a high possibility she's still here. This is not old.
That's precisely why I want to go now.
Rebus, as you say that, and Daithun walks past, you see, both the two of you see in the darkness ahead of you a small light igniting, getting a little bit bigger, and illuminating a face. You see, huddled on the ground, clutching a wound, a small gnomish figure, aiming a wand at both of you. There are scratch marks over her face, her wild gray-black hair all messed up. And you can just see all of it illuminated in this orange-red light from the wand that she has ignited. Along the edge of this crafted piece, symbols igniting. Her breathing heavy. She sees you first so close, like just a hair's breadth away from just launching whatever spell is holding that wand. But then she realizes who she's looking at. Maybe even realizing that both of you are real. And then she just says, and I thought this place couldn't get any worse. That's what you hear from Aurea Ikorin's lips. As we're going to end today's session. Here
Hate
today.
you. I was waiting for it.
God damn it. Sorry.
God damn it, Marcus!
Aurea!
Rebus would never.
Canon.
Rebus is too polite for her, goddammit.
Yes, they are.
I think they swore once. I can't remember actually. We're gonna
Rebus,
have to go through
gosh
the
darn it.
Gosh,
Oh.
Dag
darn.
nabbit.
Oh, speaking of wands, I did reattune a different thing since we had the full hour 6 attunement. But would you say that process was conducive to attunement or not? Otherwise, I'll undo my change.
I would say you still would have been able to do the attunement.
Okay. Because I attuned to something else.
Well, party, you have survived yet another session. You have had at least the chance and honors of taking a short rest to recover, and you are making progress and have found your old employer / rival now. And I wonder where this will go when we pick up again next week.
My goodness.
Before we head out here today, thanks to everyone who joined us here today in chat. Thanks for the providing of the cat vantages, paying attention to these adorable cats, even if it's just their tail
the
dangling
tail count?
in someone's in front of someone's cam.
It's adorable.
If you enjoyed what you saw here today, you can of course follow us or subscribe here on Twitch to us. That helps us a lot. If you, for example, have an Prime Gaming subscription lying around which you want to use, we would be honored if you would provide us with that. If you are here today, you can also click under our videos our links to our socials where you can find us, know when we are going live, and you can also on our Discord come and hang with us. If you're just joining us today for the very first time and you want to catch up with where this campaign actually started, you can find all the VODs of not just this campaign, but of all our games from our channel on our YouTube channel, that which would be youtube.com/Horde of Tales, where you find all of this. We will be back next week here for the Convergence Manifesto, but this week we will also be back for a second time on our channel, because on Thursday, our very own Ida is going to play a very cool solo TTRPG. Ida, would you like to tell us quickly what you're going to do on Thursday here with us?
Hi. Yes, it's true. Rich from Hatchling Games, creator of Inspire Isles, a TTRPG that also teaches you sign language and other cool games, has given me a copy of the new solo TTRPG called Dragon Dowser, based on the Carta system with playing cards. And I will be doing a playthrough of this Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. British Summer Time. So come hang out for that.
Perfect. Yes. Join us at, that's also normal hot time, as I think we've established. So you can join us for that. There's a link to the Hatchlings game site in chat as well, where you can see all of Rich's work, and you should definitely come check it out. It's a great, cool solo RPG. It is adorable. It has dragons, and you can come check it out here with us.
Yeah, Dragons Ghibli vibe. Boom, sold.
Bam. There we go.
Sounds delightful.
Also, later this week, not on this channel, but over on our channel of our friends DA Dungeon, on Saturday, the 29th, there is the DA Dungeon Drive 2023, which is a marathon weekend of TTRPG games, raising funds for Trans Lifeline, a very great initiative helping out trans people all over the world. We have a wide selection of TTRPGs with an amazing group of people, GMs and players running there. And I have the honor of kicking it off with my group of Lasers and Feelings on Saturday, where we will having a space adventure. We've had a very fun session 0 for it already, with a few ideas. I promise silly, pulpy space adventures. And I also promise, since it's over at DA Dungeon and they do great stuff, a very great fundraising weekend over there. So come check that out. The entire DA Dungeon Drive is both on Saturday 29th July and Sunday 30th July. You can find more information over at DA Dungeon, which Ida was so nice to post a link to in the chat. Before we head out, any other things anyone would like to share coming up in this coming week for them? Serial.
For once, do my usual, but hey, I am an artist, or I try to be professionally. And so I am at a convention this weekend in Leipzig. So any of you who happen to be around the area in Saxon or maybe Berlin, like if you feel like dropping by during the 29th and 30th of this weekend, I will be selling my prints and stickers and little trinkets at the Leipzig Art Days. Yeah, here in Leipzig. So
Perfect.
worth a shout out. Yeah. Thank you,
already
Austin. That is
Yeah.
that is such old art. Like that is
Hey,
from the archives. I do not sell any of those anymore.
I know
actually.
they're collector's items. They're great.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, so if you are in the area, go check out Serial over at the Leipzig Art Days and check out their fantastic art. Anyone else anything to share for the upcoming week?
Oh,
Oh, go ahead, Caro. I always have things. So.
just a reminder. So basically, the last like the Christmas in July sale on the Elves Guild is still running, but not for long anymore. So if you want to grab something from there that you have on your wish list, that's a good time to go.
And you should definitely go and check out all the stuff that Caro has on the DM's Guild. I just quickly posted the link to that in the chat.
Thank you.
It is still indeed Christmas in July. Check out Caro's stuff. We have there amazing adventures and supplements. And of course, also check out all the other cool stuff you can get on EDM's Guild, because there's honestly a lot of cool stuff on there. For example, also one of the supplements, Home Field Advantage, where we interviewed Trakirozov a few weeks ago. You can also get that there, so check it out.
Or the Convergence Manifesto.
Exactly. Yes.
And may or may not have recently bought Children and Champions of the Fae because it was on sale.
Oh, perfect.
Been
All
reading through
right.
that. It's very interesting.
And I have a stream tomorrow. We are continuing at Girls Run These Worlds with another game of Afterlife Hotel Nexus. We're all dead. This is purgatory. We don't know what we did or didn't do to end up here. And if we don't, we're going to disappear into nothingness. It's a game where
What
we
about the
explore. It's a game where we explore past traumas, histories, done with utmost safety, compassion, and trust within a table. And it's a really great exercise in that. So come check us out at Girls Run This World tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock BST.
Exactly. Perfect. With all that being said, we are gathering who is here with us because we're going to raid over to our friends over at Fey Earth. Thanks, everyone, for being here tonight, or whatever time zone it is, wherever you are. We're going to be back here next week. Thanks to the amazing people at this table, and looking forward to continuing this adventure next week with you. Take care, everyone. Stay safe, and see you soon back here on Horde of Tales.
We love you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.